All right, Nunes, you're playing the role of Connor McDavid. See, Sid came out recently, said he thinks he can hit 170 points. 170. He's not going to put anything past you.
Agreed.
Absurd. What is your level of concern that the bar is too high and you will not be able to replicate last season's play?
I'm concerned about it because I've said this before. If he gets 135 points, which is ridiculous, people are like, off season or whatever. You've set the bar really high. $170 is rich.
He's not putting up 170. 170.
That's
so
2 points.
Dude, I don't think
23.
you understand what he's going to do to the league this year. This guy's a freak of nature, man. He's a machine. He's a hockey point producing machine. And the Quizmaster was right when he said he's the most evolved player of all time.
That's fine, but at some point you peak statistically. There is no way he surpasses what he did last year.
I'll bet you $5,000.
Take it. I'll bet you. Forget you betting me. I'll bet you, and you could shake on it.
You got to do the shake.
At some point, you tap out statistically.
No,
and I think last year was the best.
Not this guy.
Yes, this guy. Gretzky did. Lemieux did. They all did.
Okay, Gretzky tapped out at 212. At 212.
215. And he did that when he was 25 years old.
212.
215
was it
his
212 or 215?
215.
We need clarification.
I looked it up today. I did a Sports Center hit on this like an hour ago. I'm telling you.
It's 215.
He had 92 goals, 212 one year, and the other year his best ever was 215.
Okay, McDavid's not tapping out yet. The guy got 100 points in 50 games in the bubble.
Dude, at some point that's enough. Like, listen, I'll grant you that. The bubble year, he had as good a year statistically as he just had.
Right.
So 2 of the last 3, he's been on the same. Like, if they played 82 games that year, he would have had 155 points or something.
Right. You said 170.
That's what
I'm concerned
Sid's
about
saying is
that.
170. Yeah, why am I yelling at him?
You guys are arguing.
But by the way, Sid, this is what Sid said. This is what Sid said. It wouldn't shock me if he did it.
I know.
He didn't say he's going out there.
No, I know
it.
that. But it's the gratuitous thing to say, hey, McDavid could do everything. I was going to say this earlier. I'll say it now. Aaron Judge hit 62 home runs last year. Did anyone think he'd hit 63 this year? No.
I don't know.
At some point, you got to be reasonable and say 63 goals, 153 points.
I'm
That's
not there
it.
yet. I'm not there yet with that guy.
I think statistically, he just had the best season of his career.
He did,
absolutely not.
But you're saying, okay, here I'm going to pivot.
You're Connor. You speak up.
I do have a level of concern, but I'm going to say. So you don't think in the rest of his career he will never get above 150?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I think
that's a
it.
donkey comment.
I think he will.
Donkey non-NHL
I don't think it's going to happen.
It's a donkey comment.
I don't think it's going to be this year.
I
think 2 years from now he might hit 160.
He's turning 27 this year.
Yeah.
Dude, when a guy's prime starts?
No, it's not. It's not statistically. Dude, I looked it up today.
Oh,
Wayne
you did
Gretzky,
a lot of research today.
Using Wayne Gretzky as an example, right? We're talking the best of the best. And Gretzky was lapping the field like McDavid is. He scored 92 goals in 212 his third season in the league. He was 21. He had 215 points in his seventh season. He was 25. McDavid's going into his ninth season. He'll be 27. Statistically, Lemieux, the same thing. Ovi, these guys, you have your best statistical years the first 5 to 7 years of your career.
You're right.
Then you round out. Then you load manage. You think about other things. You have different priorities. He's not chasing points the rest of his career.
You're right.
I think the way this guy operates and moves and the conditioning and the speed, I think from 27 to 30 is going to be his best productive years.
Here's the only thing I would counter that argument with is that in the Gretzky era, they drank and smoked like it was their job.
Yeah.
Right? So this is a guy who is with nutrition, with sports science, everything.
Understand that.
I think that extends the window a little bit. That's all I'm saying.
I think you're right. I think that's reasonable.
Because
I'm not saying he's going to finish with 84 points.
Former
player
Frank DeChambeau off the top turnbuckle. Dude, this guy is hitting 150 again in his sleep.
Okay. He snuck over 150 this year with everything going his way.
Dude, I wouldn't surprise me if he gets
a
175 points.
But you're just being a
I'm not.
175. You know, the year before this, he had 123. He went up 30 points.
he was
he's going to go on top of that another 20?
No, that's
I know you're not because you're reasonable.
I'm saying that I think in his career, he will beat 153.
You think he'll
I'm not
top that?
convinced it's this year because I think he's more focused on rounded game, winning, and I don't think he cares about points. I think he cares about wins and winning in the playoffs.
Why would he care about that in 2 years or 3 years?
I think there just might be those years where, for example, Austin Matthews wants to score every night. It's just not going to happen. He hit the
I'm not
60.
sure Austin ever hit 60 again. I don't think that's unreasonable to say I don't think he scores 60 again.
But he might. He might have
might.
a year where it's like he's healthy and everything he touches goes in the net, like we saw 2 years ago. So I'm not betting against these guys. They're so talented. So I'm not betting against McDavid. So
Go ahead.
I'm 6-pack of beer just based on, I don't think he can do it. I don't think he's doing it this year, but I think he's doing it in his career still.
Everyone is
not.
fired up for the NHL, and this guy is hanging on the top turnbuckle of the stall of the bathroom and just having a moose on everything. It's like, come on.
I'm being reasonable.
No.
I think if he scores 55 goals and 140 points, that's amazing.
It is.
And an
It's-
incredible season, and he's still the best player in the world, and he wins the Rocket, and he wins the Art Rocket. But he had 63 and 153. The next closest was Draisaitl, like 128 points. Last year
lapped the field.
was amazing.
Yeah.
At some point,
Right.
you peak as a statistical season. It doesn't mean he's a worse player.
Right. No,
Let me clarify that. I'm not saying he'll be worse. I'm
Yeah.
saying statistically, you chase it early in your career, and then adjustments are made, and you're like, I'm not going to do that this time.
I agree.
And that's what I'm anticipating will happen.
Although Joe from
You
the Bridge,
anticipate that. I'm not anticipating that happening this year.
Yeah, I know.
3 years from
Go ahead.
3 years from now. That's when a guy's prime is. That's when his prime is.
Listen, I understand that with sports science and all that kind of stuff. The guy's in remarkable shape, and it is very different than it once was.
well, and the
No
game
question.
continues to change too. That to cater to goal scorers. That's you're seeing scoring going up again because you can't touch a guy, you can't tap on the gloves. Power
you go.
plays, penalty kills, like their power play's not going anywhere for at least 2 years. If
And guess
Draisaitl-
what? He stays out there for 2 minutes of it. Best power play in the league last year. It's
Joe
not going
from
to
the
get
Bridge
any worse.
just pointed out one little nugget that might be in the back of his mind.
Uh-oh.
He's 150 points away from 1,000 points in his career.
This season, hitting 1,000.
So that might
Pretty
be
amazing.
that might be a little nugget that
Listen,
it's like he tucks in the back of his mind.
I'm rooting for it.
I agree.
I'm not tooting on this. I am.
You are
tooting.
tooting.
No, I'm not tooting. I'm rooting for McDavid to put
Give
up
him the horn, JP. Give him the horn.
astronomical statistics. I'd love to see I'd love to see Matthews score 65, McDavid have 200 points.
Yeah.
216. That'd be amazing.
Evander Kane's
I'm not saying
getting
I don't
200.
want that.
Didn't Evander Kane say today that he's getting 200 points as a joke?
I think
himself. Did he
yes.
say, or was it McDavid?
Well, because someone asked him. I think someone said, "What do you want?" He's like, "No one ever asked me my statistics. 100 goals, 100 assists."
I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Sure, put that up there. That's what he wants. That's what I want. I want to see that happen. But
Wow.
at some
Either
point,
way,
it stopped.
you're right. Gretzky
And-
hit 215. He never got to 217,
No.
220.
At some point,
But-
it just became.
I still believe McDavid has more. I don't know if it's this year or whatever, but I believe at some point he beats 153. I don't know if that's 170.
Dude, you're getting destroyed on this. Everyone is writing me saying this guy's high. Like,
Yeah, because everyone wants to will it
No.
into existence.
no, they're
Yes.
just like it's almost an automatic for anyone with half a brain.
An automatic, he's going to score
Yes,
170
yes.
points. Is
I
that
don't
Yes.
what
know.
you're saying?
I don't know.
No,
That's-
it's like the 150.
154. That's the number. You think he hits 154 this season or at some point in the next 3 or 4 years?
I would bet my house on it.
I do, but I don't. I'm not saying it has to be this year. I'm giving a 3-year window still
Okay.
because Draisaitl.
I'll be the only guy here that I'm going to say I think he hit his peak statistically
It's
last
Just
year.
a
Statistically,
Debbie
not-
Downer outlook to start the season. God. You're just throwing a porta potty
We might
on
have
the
to- Jason
NHL
Strudwick-
season.
my
Jason
job is to
Strudwick might
give
come
opinions.
in. Struddy might call in tomorrow.
Oh, Strutty be in the
Get
fetal
him on.
position.
420, please.
Yeah, I'll reverse it and I'll send something. This will really get Strutty going. I think Mitch Marner is a lock to hit 100 points this year. He's never hit 100
He had
points in his
99
career.
last year,
I
so
believe
it's-
he will hit 100.
Yeah,
There
that's,
you go.
Oh, that's so
That's not a
crazy.
positive.
That's not a hard
Whoa.
take.
Mr. Positive.
That's not a hard take.
But everyone's dumping on everything else. I'm Mr. Positive.
Mr. Positive.
Porta potty, the porta potty host.